Hi, Shunanotaki here. Film photography is being eliminated from market and losing its vitality. But I do filming, even today. I was shooting with a super expired color negative film, and also with Fuji C200. As long as photo film exists, I do stand it, even in this video. I took photos with this camera for today's video, Nikon F5. The reason I used this camera is because of its precise exposure control. I needed it to test the Kodak XX super sensitized development. I shot at ISO 12800. This is a test to challenge the limits of film photography. Whether I really reached the sensitivity ISO 12800, how the image quality was. I would like to review these points. Let's start the video. As for sensitized development for Kodak XX, Dream Locomotive San, one of the viewers, has also tried. He has succeeded up to ISO 3200 with pretty good image quality. For me, I thought it would be a good idea to test at ISO 6400. But I really wanted to try ISO 12800. Because there is a film camera in the world that we can set ISO 12800. It is Canon A1. When I saw the sensitivity setting of 12800 on Canon A1, I imagined what a picture taken at ISO 12800 would look like. After all, no film with ISO 12800 sensitivity was ever released. I guess that some people tried to sensitize a film to 12800 somewhere in the world. But they are not well known. So I thought I would try. It seems that XX has relatively high sensitization tolerance. From Dream Locomotive San's test results at ISO 3200, it looked so fine. So I decided to go beyond 6400 and try ISO 12800. I used Nikon F5, because, as I mentioned earlier, its exposure control is very accurate. Unfortunately, however, Nikon F5 did not support ISO 12800. It's 6400 at maximum. Here it is now showing 6400. This is the upper limit. You can't go any higher, even if you want to. If you try to go higher, you will get the DX code mark. And, below 6400 is 5000. I had no choice but to use exposure compensation. -1 stop gives the correct exposure setting of 12800. So, I took all the pictures in Program Auto. It means that they were taken with Kodak XX at ISO 12800. The developer was Fuji Super Prodol 50% dilution. The liquid temperature was 26 degrees. And the developing time was 25 minutes. It took a long time. I had to agitate once every minute for 25 minutes. And I was getting bored. Toward the end, I almost forgot that a minute had passed. Anyway, I developed the film for 25 minutes. What kind of results did I got? And, was I able to reach the sensitivity of ISO 12800? Let's take a look at the photos. Sample photos. I took this picture in a very difficult place for photographing. But the image is still there. However, I think it probably did not reach 12800. There is also quite a bit of graininess. This photo seems to have been affected by the lighting behind it. This photo clearly shows it's underexposed by about 2 stops, which means it may only be at about ISO 3200. Depending on the conditions under which the photo was taken. the conditions may have been harsh because of the artificial lighting. Kodak XX is actually less sensitive in artificial lighting than in daylight. It is ISO 250 in daylight, but ISO 200 in tungsten light. Perhaps the conditions were too harsh. In high light, the image is just about decent. As expected, the image was developed for 25 minutes, so there is a lot of grain. There is almost no gradation nor latitude. Like this photo, it is very underexposed. If I had shot at 6400, perhaps I could have captured it better. Next time I will try shooting at ISO 6400. I think ISO 12800 was indeed too harsh. You might think that I should have extended the developing time more. However, since the image is already very grainy, I think it would be difficult to extend the developing time any further. If we develop underexposed photos, they will basically be so grainy. So if we develop photos with this developing time, we should set the sensitivity setting to 6400. I think that would give a better graininess to the finished product. I am not very sure. I thought about shooting at 12800 in daylight during the day, but thought it would not be worth testing. What you want to shoot at ISO 12800 is still a dark scene. In artificial light, at least, it is unfortunate result that it is difficult to reach ISO 12800 with the Kodak XX. I am now wondering how far Ilford Delta 3200 can be sensitized. When I sensitize a normal ISO 400 film, say Kentmere, it gets very rough at about ISO 1600, really rough. Compared to that, I think XX is much better. About the graininess after sensitization, perhaps ISO 6400 might be usable. I think I will load XX into my Nikon F5 one more time and shoot. I would recommend, it might be a good idea, to keep the sensitized development to ISO 3200 or lower. As I mentioned earlier, it is important to keep in mind that XX has different sensitivity for daylight and tungsten light, artificial light. I wonder what would happen if I do a sensitized development with Tri-X, originally ISO 400. I still have a long roll film provided by Dorama-san, so I just thought I would test it with Tri-X as well. I really wanted to have a hopeful result, though, that we could reach ISO 12800 with film photography. If any of you viewers have ever sensitized Ilford Delta 3200 to ISO 12800, please let me know in the comments of this video or via Twitter's direct message. I was a little disappointed with the results this time. I will shoot again with ISO 6400 at night. That would be sensitive enough to use a fairly fast shutter speed. Through shooting with ISO 12800, I was surprised to realize that we can shoot at such high shutter speeds even in dark scenes. One of the reasons was that I used a bright f2.8 lens, a Tokina lens which Takagawa-san offered to me. I was impressed that f2.8 lens and ISO 12800 sensitivity would make it possible to shoot at a fairly fast shutter speed even at night. Unfortunately, it did not reach that sensitivity. So I will try ISO 6400 next time. I'm not sure when, but stay tuned. If the graininess is beautiful after shooting at ISO 6400, I think it can be used for summer festival photos, such as our Odori and Nebuta festivals. if you use a bright lens of about f2.8. I'm still dreaming of photographing summer night festivals without flash. A bit of a forced summary, I guess. That's all for today's topic. From here, it is a section for submitted photos. This is the section for submitted photos. First up is from Nogami-san. Good evening, Otaki-san. It's been a while. Titled, Starry Sky, Equipment Zenza Bronica S2, Nikkor P75mm f2.8. Fuji Provia 100F. My first astrophoto with reversal film. Shot it when I went camping with friends. Didn't measure the exposure time precisely, but tease about 1 hour. Provia is said to have a strong resistance to reciprocity failure like Acros 2. So I do not see much fogging on it. Scanned image is quite different in color from the film itself. Color adjustment is a struggling job. As a side note, I was bloodied by a leech while I was shooting. That's it. I didn't know leeches were still around. I heard it is quite painful when they suck blood. This is the photo. Pretty good color. Is this an adjusted photo? Basically, reversal films, especially Provia and Belvia, have a bit high saturation. They are not natural. I don't think it needs to be adjusted. It's okay to develop the characteristics of the film. I would like to see photos that have not been adjusted. What kind of leeches are they? Are they big? The episode of the leech was very interesting. Thank you for your contribution, Nogami-san. Next is Imai-san's contribution. Otaki-san, it's Imai. I always enjoy the videos. It's my third contribution. Shot with Minolta Hi-Matic S which I got from a junk basket. Titled, Face. Film Fuji Super Premium 400, perhaps. It was less than 500 yen, so I shot to check. I'm so satisfied with the results. Descriptive performance of Rocco lens is excellent. Recently I also got Minolta XD for 1000 yen as junk. We'll check if it works with its lens. At least, the shutter worked. I will post more shots when they are ready. Please take care of your health in the lingering summer heat. Thank you so much for your photo. It's so good, but a bit pity. If you cropped it, it would have been much more interesting. As for this photo, the subject should be emphasized. I would have done something like this. I emphasized the subject with a vertical composition. This is a face, as the title says. This warehouse, or rather this storehouse. It must have been made with a human face in mind. There were mischievous people in the past. Thank you, Imai-san, for the interesting photos. Next is from Kitano Taka-san. Good evening. It's Kitano Taka. I submit 2 photos I took after the end of the busy Obon season. The equipment is an old compact digital camera. Pentax Optio S60 bought as a junk. Marked, SMC Pentax Zoom Lens 5.8 to 17.4 mm, on the lens. The first one is titled, Through the Flower Field, and the second one is titled, Summer Landscape, BA. The first one was shot at Flowerland Camafarano. The tractor is followed by a coach. It was cloudy, but I shot during a moment of sunshine. I should have captured the coach together. The second one was shot on a country road in a field in BA. I like to shoot this kind of scenery. I rarely find a Pentax compact digicam. Furthermore, packed in the original package. I bought it without hesitation. 6 megapixel camera. I'd like your advice. I'm getting into old digicams. Shot with film as well, but not yet done. Will submit if it's a success. Thanks. That's Kitano-san's message. Let's see. It's a very good photo. But I thought the composition has room for improvement. It's a very good photo. The colors are good. And the scenery is very beautiful. So is the second photo. However, I think the composition can be much better. I think the composition needs to enhance the beauty of the subject. So I'll introduce 2 cropped shots this time. In the first picture, I think the flower in the foreground is beautiful. Therefore, I cut off the sky. If you cut the sky part, it looks like this. In the second photo, I made the sky larger because I thought the sky was beautiful. This one ended up looking something like Windows XP wallpaper. But I think it is a good photo. Because the composition is so impressive that it is used for that. I think it could be the other way around. In other words, you could make the first photo with a larger sky section, or the second photo with a larger ground section, or you could make it 50-50. I would have liked it with a little more work on the composition. Especially in the second photo, it would have been a better piece if it was cropped, since the planting in the foreground is in frame. What do you think? Please discount my advice by half, as I am not an expert. Thank you, Kitano Taka-san, for your contribution. Next is from Takomaru-san. Hi Otaki-san, it's Takomaru. August was so hot that I didn't feel like going out. I couldn't shoot the film I had loaded in July. Finally finished shooting. I'm submitting my work, titled, A Single Bud. Camera Nikon F4S with Nikkor QC Auto 200mm f4, AI converted, Fuji 100. Scanner software Silverfast 9, finishing application DxO Photolab 3. September is soon, but hot and humid days are still to come. Take care and good luck with job and YouTube. I look forward to your videos. See you soon. That's from Takomaru-san. Let's take a look. It's a great photo. 200mm f4 lens has captured the subject impressively. It's a very good photo. This lens is an old Nikon, so I think it is a bit dark. The tints are a good result. The colors are very deep. Film is Fuji 100, but it may be adjusted with software. Thank you, Takomaru-san, for your contribution. Next is Tatsumiya-san. Hi, Tatsumiya here. I submit 2 photos. First one is Strange Partition. Camera, Nikon F2 Photomic with Nikkor M Auto 24mm f2.8. Second one is Rotting Indian. Camera, Nikon F2 Photomic with Nikkor H Auto 50mm f2. Kodak Color plus 200 for both. I feel signs of autumn, but it is still hot. Take care and good luck with your work. Thank you, Tatsumiya-san. Let's see the works. The first one. So interesting. It's a line of a parking frame of a parking lot. I guess they drew the line on the uneven terrain. A very good point of view, which is only possible with snapshots. The title of the second photo is Rotting Indian, so the bike is called Indian. It's an old motorcycle. It has decayed to the point of no recover. I thought the composition has room for improvement. It would have been better if it had been taken as full view of the bike, or a close-up of a part of it. However, as I said before, this is my personal opinion, so please discount it by half. Thank you so much. That's all for today's video. There are no submissions in Oh Yeah, Oh No, and My Camera. Please submit to My Camera, and you will be selected immediately. Of course, the same goes for Oh Yeah, Oh No. As for the photo section, the waiting list is about 4 people now. I am releasing videos more often. I will be able to introduce soon. So please submit your work. I am making videos with your help. I will make it together with you, all the viewers. That's all for today's video. As for the testing of Kodak XX, I hope to succeed next time in taking high sensitivity photos, which will lead to the hope of film photography. As for sales, I am continuing to do so. I am also selling them on Yahoo Auction and Mercari. If you search for Kodak XX, you will probably find my listing. Of course, you can buy the film there. But you can also buy at a lower price on my Twitter account, TunaNotaki3. If you're having trouble obtaining the film, please take advantage of this offer. 880 yen per roll, including shipping, with a minimum of 3 rolls. Or in 5 roll units on Yahoo Auction and Mercari. I think I will end today's video. Please give it a high rating and post a comment. There are still a few comments of last week left not responded yet. Due to my busy schedule, I will reply to all of them when I have time. So please wait a little longer. As for the high rating, just click on the high rating if you like. The number of channel subscriptions is increasing at a slightly faster pace. I hope to get more channel subscriptions. And maybe in the future I can do a Nikon F4 giveaway. I can't say for sure, but I will do it if I can. I am thinking of doing a camera giveaway once it reaches 6,000 channel subscribers. So please subscribe to my channel. That concludes today's video. See you again in the next video. Thank you for watching until the end. Have a good day, good night, and goodbye.